Our people were good people.
Ron Ruff joined the Air Corps in 1940 when he was 18. By the time he was 20, he was a master sergeant and a crew chief in charge of keeping our planes flying in World War II's European theater.
Our targets were bridges, airfields, gun emplacements, and anything that moved, trains, whatever.
Ruff was at first stationed in England, right in the pathway of German buzz bombs headed for London.
They started over at night, and we didn't know what they were.
The Air Corps was a dangerous branch in those days, with a 50% mortality rate for its pilots.
And of course, young guys, they don't realize how dangerous it is until they get in it. And then they say, well, we're not going to make it through this, so we might as well get as many enemies as we can.
The two most historic events of the war that Ruff remembers most are the Battle of the Bulge and the Normandy invasion.
D-Day, our air group put air cover over Utah Beach.
It was at the Battle of the Bulge in November and December of 1944 that air power came into its own in history.
We were at Rheims, but we were very fortunate. We were in an old French army base.
Ruff was fortunate that he actually had shelter in the coldest winter Europe had known, but the makeshift airfield he operated from was anything but fortunate.
Our airstrip was tar paper, and taxiways were the plank or were wire, kind of like concrete wire, you know, what a square mesh type stuff.
An added layer of straw and the rustic airfield was ready to go until the weather shut down all flights.
The first 4 or 5 days we couldn't get planes in the air.
When the fog and rain finally lifted, American planes joined in the Battle of the Bulge and turned the tide of the war into victory for the Allies.
As soon as it opened up, boy, we had planes over Bastogne all the time. During every daylight hour. Our job was keep them flying.
And keep them flying is what flight engineer Ron Ruff did from 1940 to the end of the war in 1945. In Pittsburgh for Freedom Fighters, Joan Hallmark, KLTV 7 News.